In today's lecture, we will be studying about dimensional analysis. So, if you see before beginning with dimensional analysis is how dimensional analysis came into picture, we must understand that many practical real flow problems in fluid mechanics can be solved by using equations or other analytical methods. But those procedures solutions which we attain depends on heavily on the experimental data, and sometimes experimental data obtained from laboratories is not only time consuming, but they are also expensive. So, main goal is to extract the maximum information from fewest experiments. In this regard, from this prospects, dimensional analysis plays an important role, or it is an important tool that helps in correlating analytical results with experimental data and to predict the prototype behavior from the measurement on the models which we have discussed in previous lectures. So, this is how dimensional analysis comes into the picture. I will underline it. Analysis, it is an important tool that help us to relate analytical results with experimental data of prototype behavior that measured on the model prototype. Models and prototype we have covered in a previous lecture, you can see, you can go through it. Coming to the dimensions, since it is dimensional analysis, so we need to focus on the dimensions and the unit. So, in dimensional analysis, we are only concerned with the nature of dimension, that is its quality or its quantity. Dimensions, let us see what is the basic difference between a dimension and a unit, or dimensions and unit. Dimensions are the properties which can be measured, like mass you can measure length, you can measure time. So, these are the properties which you can measure. Now, the units are the standard elements which we use to quantify these dimensions. So, these dimensions are the quantities which can be measured, and unit of these are the standard elements which we use to quantify this dimension, like mass in kg, length in meter, time in seconds. So, quantifying the dimensions we use units. Coming to the fundamental dimensions. Fundamental dimensions are three, that is mass, length and time. Mass in kg, length in meters, then time in seconds. Time you can also take in hours, minute, but standard you are taking in seconds. So, if you see the fundamental dimensions with the help of this MLT, mass will be represented as m, then length in meters you have measured, the unit is meter, but length will be denoted as L and time will be denoted as T. These are the fundamental dimensions MLT. Coming to the derived or the secondary dimensions. Secondary dimensions are those which possess more than one fundamental dimension. So, fundamental dimension you can see were 3 MLT, and in derived or secondary fundamental dimension you can see that there can be 2, 3 or 3, all the 3 is fundamental dimension, like MLT can also be found out. So, you can see if you see the geometric value, if you see geometric is around the area and the volume, meter square, meter cube, and here you can see length square and length cube. Then coming to kinematics, velocity and acceleration, meter per second square. So, here you can see L t to the power minus 1, L t to the power minus 2. So, here you can see in this derived dimension, two fundamentals dimensions are present, that is length and the time. Coming to the dynamics, and you can see in dynamics force and density, these are for example only force is in Newton and against it is having ml t minus 1, or you can say ml by t, and for density kg per meter cube, kg means m, per meter cube means L to the power minus 3. Again all the 3 fundamentals were used in force, and while 2 fundamentals were used in density, representing density. So, this is how the basic difference comes or derives, that is derived are those quantities, derived dimensions are those which possess either 1 or 2 fundamental dimensions MLT. Now, the use of dimensional analysis. So, if you come across the uses of dimensional analysis, first and foremost you can see conversion from one dimensional unit to another is possible for you, and you can see we can check out the units of the equation, that is dimensional homogeneity, whether the equation from left hand side is dimensionally equal to the equation in the right hand side. Or you can see third, you can define a dimensionless relation in a complex problem with the help of these two methods, Rayleigh's method and Buckingham pi method. And you can also, with the help of dimension analysis, you can also analyze the model, the type of model you are framing or the type of model you are supposed to frame for any system. If you see under these uses, you see first one that you need to convert from one dimension to another dimension. This previously you can see Newton is being converted to this MLT, again meters per second is converted into LT minus 1. So, second one, if you are checking out the equation is homogeneous or not, let us come into the picture. What is dimensionally homogeneity or dimensional homogeneous equation? What are dimensional homogeneous equation? So, you have already known in mathematics since during your schooling time, but let us revise once more. Dimensional homogeneity means dimensions in each side of the equation are equal. Let us consider, for example, there is an equation that is v equal to under root 2 g s. This is how we are going to measure theoretical velocity. We have calculated v equal to under root 2 g h. Now, taking the left hand side, that is velocity. Velocity you know is nothing but length per unit time. Length means L, per unit time is L t minus 1. So, in left hand side you are getting the equation in terms of dimension as L t minus 1. Let us come back to right hand side, that is under root of 2 g h. Under root of 2 g h, you can see 2 is a constant, g is nothing but velocity per meter per second square. So, here you can see meter means length per second square means time square, then h is the length. So, you have written length. Here you can see again you are coming to at L square t square, and then you are coming L by t and L t minus 1. So, here you can see dimension of left hand side are L t minus 1 and dimension of right hand side are L t minus 2. They both are equal. Hence, you can say that the equation v equal to under root 2 g s is dimensionally homogeneous and it can be used in any system of units. Now, you can use in any system of unit like velocity in meter per second, meter per minute, meter per hour, or you can say centimeter per second or centimeter per minute. Whatever unit you want, you can carry over with it. This is dimensionally homogeneous equation. Coming to the method, third checklist which we were saying, that defining dimensionless relationship, use of dimensional analysis helps us to define the dimensionless relationship. So, under it two methods comes, Rayleigh's method and Pi-Buckingham method, method 1 and method 2. Let us discuss the method 1. Rayleigh's method, under Rayleigh's method you can see it define both of the method like Rayleigh's method or Pi-Buckingham method, both of them defines the relationship between the variables, that is dependent variable and independent variable. Now, you can see this method or Rayleigh's method is used to determine the expression for a variable which depend maximum for 3 or 4 variables. Means it can give you an accurate result or equation only and only if there are 3 to 4 variables like dependency, like if this pen is working in condition, then ink will work, then how the structure of this work, how much thickness you are having, you are comfortable in writing, all these. So, maximum if all these parameters you are taking, they should either be 3 or 4. After that, if the variable number of variable increases, Rayleigh's method is not valid for them. So, let us see the validity for the 3 and 4 method. For other variables, you can use Pi-Buckingham theorem if there are variables more than 4. So, methodology, what is the exact methodology of Rayleigh's method? There you can see, let us suppose x is a function of x1, x2 and x3. You can see, let us suppose x is a function of x1, x2 and x3. So, mathematically we can write x is a function of x1 and x2 and x3, and we can also write in terms of a constant, that is x is equivalent to a constant k, x1 to the power a, x2 to the power b, x3 to the power c, where k is a constant and a, b, c are arbitrary powers which we have given. Now, what we will do, the values of a, b, c like powers, arbitrary powers which we have taken, will be obtained by comparing the powers of the fundamental dimension on both sides. So, this x will be having certain MLT, these MLT will be equated with the help of a, b, c, and hence corresponding value could be found out, and with the help of value a, b, c you can calculate that this x1 is x is dependent on x1 with how many powers or how much relationship it is having, whether it is directly proportional, it is in powers of 2, or it is inversely proportional, or it is a multiple of 4, whatever it can be. Let us see one problem. This is one of the very simplest method, like you need to calculate one dependent variable and others are independent variables. So, you can make a equation, and in that equation you can with the help of a constant you can induce certain arbitrary powers in the form of a, b, c, and after equating it to the other side you can calculate the value of a, b, c and hence can solve. So, let us see one very simple example depending on the Rayleigh's equation. So, here you can see that find the expression for discharge q, you need to find an expression for discharge q in an open channel flow when q depends on area and velocity. They are asking you, you need to calculate a relationship between q of q where you are having a area as a and velocity as v. Although we already know from continuity equation q equals to a into v, but let us see, is there any such relationship can be obtained with the help of dimensional analysis, that too for a method of Rayleigh's method, after following a method of Rayleigh's method. So, they are telling you that q is a function of what, a comma v. This was the first equation which you have supposed to write, x is a function of this and then converting that. So, first you have written q is a function of a and v, and then q, again we can write this equation as this one, that is q equals to constant a, v will be having certain arbitrary powers as a and v. This is the non-dimensional constant you can see. Now, what we will do? We will equate this a, b with the dimensions of their q. So, q is nothing but volume per unit time, volume per unit time. So, mass is 0 in q, volume means length is cube, t per unit time means t to the power minus 1. So, these are the dimensions of discharge you can see. Coming to the constant k is a non-dimensional constant we have already considered. Area is in length square L into b, will also be giving it as L square, or L square in the single side will be giving you L square to the power a. Coming to velocity, meters per second, meter is L per second to the power minus 1 with the power a. Now, we will be equating the powers of MLT in both the sides. So, if we see, the power of mass is not there in both the sides. So, we will not compare mass. Coming to the power of t, here t is minus 1. So, minus 1 is equivalent to t is not there, t is here, minus b, minus 1 is equivalent to minus b, or from here you can conclude b equals to 1. You have found out one arbitrary power. Comparing the L's over here, L is 3 means 3 is equivalent to 2a plus b, and from here substituting the value of b you have calculated as 1, and there you can see a is will be coming as 1 only, and hence you can see q is nothing but k a to the power 1 b to the power 1, which will be nothing but q equals to a into v, and this we have already studied in continuity equation where conservation of mass, law of conservation of mass was being followed, and hence you can see and visualize how this dimensional analysis helps you to establish a relationship between few variables, dependent and independent variables. So, this was about Rayleigh's method, which is applicable only and only if 3 to 4 dependent variables are there. If variables increases from 4, then the validity of the Rayleigh's goes down. So, for in that case, a system having variables more than 4, we will be following the Buckingham pi theorem. So, if you see the Buckingham pi theorem, there you can see the method of analysis used in number of variables are more. Again this came into picture only when Rayleigh's method failed because of the constraint for number of variables. Now, what does the theorem states? Theorem state if there are n number of variable in a physical phenomenon and those n variables contain m dimensions. M dimension means MLT, means m is representing the fundamental dimension and there the maximum value of m can be 3 only. Then these variable can be arranged into n minus m dimensionless group. That dimensionless group it will be represented by pi, means those n minus m terms will be pi number of terms. So, now we can see once again I will repeat in one go, so that to make a good clarity about it, that if there are n number of variable in a physical phenomenon and those n variables contain m dimensions and especially m means fundamental dimensions, then variables can be arranged into n minus m dimensionless groups called pi terms. Now, coming to the explanation or how we are going to do that. Let us suppose if function of x1, x2, x3, xn equals to 0, if function of x1, x2, x3 up to xn equivalent to 0, then variables can be expressed using m dimensions. Coming to the next one, we will be calculating, we will be shifting, or I will write it over here, and you can see if x is dependent, x is a function of x1, x2, x3, xn, then what you can see, function of this x will come inside, x comma x1 comma x2 comma x3 comma xn will be equivalent to 0. This is the first step you can do. Now, second step, we need to calculate, we need to convert these x terms into n minus m pi terms. So, n will be number of variables, like here are n variables, so n हो गया, n minus m, m maximum will be 3, so n minus m means n minus 3, value will be pi terms will be formed, and then you can see each pi term. Now, after converting this into pi terms, let us suppose function of pi 1, pi 2, pi 3 is equivalent to 0. Then these pi term again will be forming variables, a set of variables, those will be m plus 1. Yes, you can see each pi term contains m plus 1 variable, out of which m are repeating variable. Like in each pi term m will be repeating variable, plus 1 will be another one, and 1 is non-repeating type. Each pi term being dimensionless, the dimensional homogeneity can be used to get each pi term in these sections. And here you can note pi denotes a non-dimensional parameter. This is a great help in case of MLT, like m will be 0, L will be 0 and T will be 0, and hence you can calculate all the m with the 0, all the L with 0, all the T with 0, so as to get the arbitrary pairs A, B, C or x, y, z. Now, you need to understand, we have covered 3 points. First, we have to see how many functions are there, then you need to calculate number of n, MLT is m, converting into n minus m pi term into pi. Each pi will be forming m plus 1 variable, where m will be a repeating variable. Now, maximum value of m is 3 MLT, you can see. So, how you are going to choose this repeating variables? Selecting repeating variable, you need to avoid taking the quantities required as repeating variables. Repeating variables put together should not form dimensionless group. They should be taken care, and then no two repeating variables should have same dimensions. You cannot take two different two different variables, but they have same dimensions, like velocity and acceleration. You can see, like length, breadth, you cannot take m is 3 in section, you can see m is 3, m is maximum 3. So, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, you cannot take length over here, breadth over here and height over there, because all these 3 terms are having same dimension. Now, repeating variables have certain laws or certain restrictions which you need to take care, so as to make the equation in a homogeneous pattern, or so as to keep the equation balanced. That is, the first constant which you are going to choose should be the geometric property, should have a geometric property in the entire calculation. You can see geometric property can be length, height, width and area. The second parameter which are going to choose as repeating variable in all the pi terms should have a flow property, that is, either they should have velocity, acceleration, or it should have the discharge of that section. Coming to the third one, third repeating variable can possess fluid property, that is mass, density, viscosity, surface tension, etc. These will be the repeating variables m plus 1. So, m will be m1, m2, m3 plus 1. This is how you are going to form pi 1, then again pi 2, m1 will be repeating, m2, m3 plus 1. This plus won't be there, I am writing it plus 1. m1 is repeating in m2, m3 and plus 1. Here you can say m1 will be either length, breadth, height, this you can take. Then m2 should have flow property, either velocity, acceleration or discharge, and this third repeating variable should have the fluid property, that is mass, density, surface tension, viscosity, etc. Plus 1 value left out you can set up as in any of the pi term, pi 1, pi 2, pi 3. This is how, and then you will be calculating, equating this pi will be having m0, L0 and T0, and then here MLT will be there, then powers of m, powers of L and powers of T will be equated, and hence you will be getting the values. Let us do one numerical, although it is a bit lengthy, but it is very easy. And previously you can see that you have seen the discharge for the relays, same pattern is being followed, only the difference is that here the variables were limited up to 4, 3 to 4, or here 2 variables were there, that is area and velocity. Now, coming to the Buckingham pi theorem, variables increases, so few steps increases, else with respect to the comparing the paths they are same. So, here you can see the pressure difference delta P, the pressure difference delta P of diameter D of pipe diameter capital D, length L, viscosity of flow mu, velocity v, density rho. Using pi Buckingham theorem, you need to calculate the expression of change in pressure or difference in pressure. So, first of all we need to understand this delta P is a function of d, L, v, u, P. See, this was the first step which we were doing. Delta P is a function of all those parameters which are given to you. So, delta P is a function of this value. Coming to the function of F1 will be equivalent to delta P taken inside d, L, v, u, rho equivalent to 0. Now, calculate. Now, we need to convert this into n minus m variable. So, for m we know maximum value is 3, coming to n number of variables we need to calculate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, n is taken as 6, m is taken as 3. So, 3 minus 6 minus 3 will be 3, means there can be a equation, this equation can be written as function of pi 1, pi 2 and pi 3 equivalent to 0. So, this they have written. Coming to pi terms, how you are going to form pi term? Pi will be having m plus 1 repeating variable. So, pi 1, pi 2, pi 3. How repeating variables you were supposed to do? First should have a geometric property, then flow property, then fluid property. You can see geometric property, either you can take diameter or you can take length. They have taken the solution is having diameter as its geometric property. You can also take the length because it is having the same value. Length you can take. So, you have put d as a geometric property. Coming to the flow property, under this flow property you can see velocity is the flow property. So, you have kept flow property. Coming to fluid property, third variable should have fluid property. See, it should have fluid property, mass, density, viscosity, surface tension. So, here you can say you can either take viscosity or density, whatever can be there. So, once you have taken viscosity as this, rest what you are having as plus 1 variable, you are left with delta P, L and rho. So, you have substituted one by one, there is no hard and fast rule for keeping the plus 1 variable over them. So, this is how you are get pi 1, pi 2, pi 3. Now, we will be solving each pi term and hence we will be obtaining a relationship. And then you can see first pi term was d a to the power a1, b to the power b1, c to the power c1, mu to the power c1 and delta p. Pi, you know, it is a dimensionless number m0, l0, t0. Diameter is L to the power a1, velocity is meters per second, means Lt minus 1, viscosity is meter. Viscosity will be calculated with the help of shear stress by change in strain. This is viscosity, and after solving this dimension of this, you are getting it as ml minus 1 t minus 1 mu, and then pressure is at ml minus 1 t minus 2. This is how you are getting the equation. Now, the simplification is easy, but it is a bit lengthy. So, you can see we will be calculating all the powers of m. You have calculated all the powers of m, 0 equals to c plus 1, therefore, c1 equals to 1. Powers of L, and substituting the value of c1, you calculated this mathematically, you have found out a, b, c. Substituting the value of a, b, c in pi 1, a1, b1, c1. There you comes to a point d to the power 1, b to the power minus 1, mu to the power minus 1, delta p. So, you got a power minus 1 relationship, means in denominator. You got a relationship, first pi term is nothing but ratio of first the product of diameter into pressure upon viscosity into velocity. Similarly, you can go for pi 2 term, solving all those, and pi 2 term is got as L by T. Third pi terms you can similarly solve for each dimensions, and then you are getting it as a rho b d. Now, substituting function of pi term, you have written this value comma this and this equivalent to 0, or you can see taking one point on another side, function of L by D is this one, or change in pressure, this value will be given to that side. So, here you can say change in pressure is having a relationship as u v by d, function of this value. These are the experimental data that different delta p is a function of L by 2. इस रिलेशनशिप के बाद आपको ये ऑलरेडी पता होता है कि जो आपका डेल्टा p होता है, प्रेशर होता है, इट्स अ लीनियर फंक्शन ऑफ L by D, एंड हेंस L by T जो है you have taken outside. So, taking L by T outside, expression for the difference in pressure head can be of this viscous flow and can be further simplified mathematically as mu v L W d square is a function of Reynolds number, and this can be written as answer, and this Reynolds number you can term it at, or you have substituted rho d v into mu as Reynolds number. This value, this is how you can see dimensional analysis you can done, and summary like of this series you have studied introduction to dimensions and units, then what is the use of dimensional analysis, then coming to dimensional homogeneity, like dimensions equations should be homogeneous, method of dimensional analysis that are Rayleigh's and Pye-Buckingham theorem. That is all about dimensional analysis. Thank you.